Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Now, guess what? We are back with the latest installment of the Goose podcast. I think this is like episode 40 this year. We've done a lot of content, and I think this is going to be one of my favorite conversations that we've had so far. With me today, I have Christian Reinwald. I've definitely mispronounced that. Of Reichelt Elektronik. Do you know what, Christian? I'm just going to get you to introduce yourself and make sure I don't destroy pronunciations as we go. Anyway, hi.
Thank you, John. Thanks for having me, and thanks for giving us as Reichelt Elektronik the opportunity to introduce ourselves to your audience. We have been entering the Irish market in January this year. Right. I'm responsible for marketing and product management. So my team is working for you as a customer, the best products from the most important brands, new brands, but also well-established brands. And we are very excited to now finally, after a few years, to make business in Ireland.
I'm not going to lie, I'm really excited because I have been looking at the site. I think you mentioned it's like 150,000 plus products that's in your range, and that's everything from electronic components to Raspberry Pi setups, battery power, like basically you name it, you seem to have it. If you kind of want to explain to me, yes, I guess how you select this amount of products and kind of what your model is for, I suppose, helping companies and people with their electronic needs.
Yeah, so we serve hobbyists, makers, prosumers, as we call it here internally, as well as small and medium-sized companies which are close to electronics. We sell patch cables, resistors, very small resistors, but also very large robotic equipment, which is priced into the thousands.
Yeah.
And I would say what makes Reichelt special is that we have a team of 11 product managers, and it's a mix of 25-year-old until 58-year-old men and women. They have a technical background, or they came from their hobby, so they are really into technology and electronics, and they pick from the market, from the best brands, the best products. So we don't have from a brand not all products, but some products where we see the best money for value. Yeah. And that gives our customers the security that whatever they pick, they get good quality to a good price.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie, you have a lot. When I was looking on the site, I was like, oh, I could go shopping there for days. But it's actually really cool. As you said, it's the hobbyists. It's people who have experience in those kind of backgrounds. So like 3D printing, that's obviously something I'm into. And just kind of like maker stuff. That's kind of like the things I'd be into. Whereas Martin, who's the other side, he'd be a lot more into, I suppose, the Raspberry Pi home security, home network. So I suppose, let's say I'm a company and I approach one of your guys or your team, and is the process kind of like I tell you my needs and you'll come back to me with here's suggestions, or what's basically talk to me through your process of helping companies and people?
So we sell mainly through the website. So of course 150,000 products is a lot to walk through, but with the search and the categories you can drill down to the products you need and filter the brands or the technical requirements. For larger quantities, especially for companies, we do tailored quotes. And when you have a technical question, then we can support you here. The point is we can't go in depth of every product, but we can guide you through our product range and give you some recommendations if you can't find the right thing for your requirements. Yeah, but our customers are also quite tech savvy, and We support them with our online magazine, where we show how-tos, and we have a lot of guides. And through our YouTube channel, we do unboxing videos, at the moment only in German on YouTube, but our Reichelt online magazine is in English, French, and German language available.
That's Joe, it's very funny that you say that. So I was obviously mentioning to you before we came on that I have family in the Black Forest part of Germany, and the other half of Goosed, Mr. Martin Meany, is actually fluent or close enough to fluent in German. He spent a lot of time over there. So over the last couple of weeks, we've actually started translating some of our articles into German as well. So it's actually a fantastic time to talk to you guys, because
it's a challenge.
Yeah, we now have a German arm to Goose, which I never thought I'd say. But yeah, we have like 5 articles up on the website in German. So I totally get that challenge that you have in terms of the YouTube content, unboxing content, and just getting content in multiple languages. Because I know for a fact, if Martin was to take one of my articles and try to translate it, best of luck, because I write how I speak, and that's insane.
Yeah, it's a challenge to keep up with the speed, with the pace of technology. Yeah, on the one hand, introduce a lot of new products, making it available, and demonstrating or making guides and how-to. So it's also a challenge for us, but we are doing our best to serve customers the latest technology and information.
Out of like, I remember, am I correct in saying the company's about 50 odd years old, or was it less than that?
Founded in 1969, so let me count. More than 50 years.
Yeah, that was the year my father was born, actually. So I'd be interested in kind of going back to that, like, I suppose, how the company started, how you got to where you are today, and kind of what's made you make the decision then to, now come into the Irish market and move away from, I suppose, Germany and Central Europe. So yeah, I'd just be fascinated with how a company like this, starts and gets to the point where it's like, let's go to Ireland.
Yeah, so the company started in Wilhelmshaven, which is in the very north of Germany. So we have in front, on the right, and on the left, there is water. Yeah, so very close to Northern Sea. And there was a couple, the Reichelt family, yeah, and they made a small shop, so a physical shop in Wilhelmshaven, in the Marktstraße. So there where it all started. And they sold electronics for radio equipment, how you build your own old radio system. And it was quite popular. You could buy very cheap the parts and build it together. And from there, the business grew very, very fast. So that the size of the shop was too small and they had to move out. And they introduced a catalog. So it really was very thin, just a list of components and pricing. And that's where the magic started. Mail order business grew very quickly. And Reichelt was well known, having a very well sorted product range to good prices. And the business grew so fast that it wasn't doable anymore in manual work. So one of the team members there at that time, our CEO now, suggested to the Reichelt owners that they have to build a computer system, a computer network. And that's where it started. They wrote their own ERP system, and the number of orders grew. And then they discussed we need a proper logistics system.
Yeah.
And at that time, it was quite expensive and not tailored to their needs. So they decided to develop their own ERP and logistics system. And then 1996, the e-commerce boom started. And you know what? They also decided to build their own website. So, and that means everything is very linked together and integrated and tailored. And that helped the company to stay very efficient and grow the product range and grew very fast. So, and 10, 15 years ago, the owners sold this company to a Swiss investor company, Detweiler. And at that point, Reichelt sold to Germany and Austria. Yeah, but of course, the business was very healthy, growing, and the potential in Europe was large.
Sure.
And the decision was made to expand in other countries. And there was a long list, when the decision was made. Switzerland, then France, Netherlands came, Italy, and then there was shortly before the Corona pandemic started, we had Spain and Ireland left.
Sure.
And Corona changed our plans completely. But we always
happened.
Yeah. So, but Ireland was always on our list because your GDP growth is unbelievable.
Yeah.
The Irish GDP growth is in the last years excellent. Yeah. So then you have a comparable young population. We are in Germany, I think, around 48 or 45, and in Ireland you have a lot of companies. Google, Microsoft. I think Facebook is there. Software companies. You have a very tech savvy industry and young population. Yeah, that is very interesting for who are very interested in our products. Yeah, and then after pandemic, we sorted all the logistic stuff, with supply chains, and then we decided to go to Ireland, and we are very happy about it.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
We should have done it earlier, but you know how it is. You can't do everything. We are a medium-sized company. And Spain was also on our list, which came after Ireland. But it is absolutely good to be here.
It makes a lot of sense as well. As you said, like, it's actually fascinating because it's probably the second time in about a week I'm going to have this exact same rant. I think like the Irish workforce is extremely undervalued over here, definitely, because we've got a very young, highly educated workforce. Yes. There's a lot of people in tech space. We have a lot of tech companies, especially the American guys who come over here for the wonderful corporate tax breaks. And what I'd love to see more is these people with these abilities and backgrounds being able to leverage technology and build their own things. So having companies like yourself that actually services hobbyists and makers and going, cool, you want to make some cool stuff? Like, let's go. We have what you need. I think it's a marriage made in heaven, because the amount of lunatics that I have met down the last 2 years who are doing mad things. Like, I had one of my friends was mad into Raspberry Pi programming, and he was like making this like almost like Jarvis style board where he would basically talk to what looked like a cutting mat, and I was just like, wow, you are wasted doing photography wherever you're doing it. It's just
we're having exciting times. I mean, we have the artificial intelligence, we have a smart home coming, we have e-mobility, green energy, and it's all coming at the same time.
Yeah.
And you have a good infrastructure in Ireland. Yeah. So it's an exciting time.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think in history, this is going to go down as the technological era or whatever. You've had the Bronze Age, the Stone Age. This will be the tech age, or I don't know, maybe a better word for it. But yeah, that's the general gist of where this is going to go, I think. Just actually from kind of, as you mentioned there's a lot of intersecting technologies coming into play at the moment. If you were to kind of pick out the kind of top 2 or 3 fastest growing or kind of key areas that you're seeing at the moment from your side, obviously, in your business, where would you find that they're coming from?
I would say 2 things. It's robotics. It's robotics in different shape and forms, and it's AI. And underneath this driving technologies, people, private customers, but also companies are investing a lot in their IT infrastructure. Yeah, that's not only not the laptop or PC. It's more the infrastructure from storage system, high performance network to equipment. And we see that the robots are coming. We had more and more orders and inquiries from Italy, from Germany, from one-armed cobots, pick and place systems, and also NVIDIA-based AI boards. So image recognition, recognizing movements, facial recognition, that's massively growing. That's
lovely. I'm really excited about this. We actually, there's a mad school program over here. I don't know if you've actually got a chance to see it yet. Probably not. It's the Dell EMQ. Anyway, it's run by Dell and it's in the schools. So you have actual school age kids making teeny tiny robots to do things, which is wicked because you're essentially incentivizing and showing this young, kids that
very good
how to make robots rather than I don't when we were in school we were taught how to do Irish dancing. It's a little different.
Well, you should not how can I say it's also important, the human part of life, interacting with people and dancing is also still important, but on the technology side, even the humanoid robots are coming. I have been on the trade fair in Berlin, and the first walking humanoid robot. So dancing might be also important in the future too.
Oh man, those robots, those kind of human style robots, absolutely scared the living bejesus out of me. The likes of the Elon Musk ones. They look very iRobot, and I'm scared. You obviously have Boston Scientific, and
I know.
You have all of these coming through, and Jesus, it's
scary.
Yeah,
if you stand in front of one, and he's moving, really face to face, it's scary, but we can't stop it. No. It's probably not possible to draw back the clock.
That can is well open. We're screwed.
Yeah.
I personally feel it's like with the design of the robots, it's like, can you not hamper them somehow so that we know that they're not going to be quicker than me? Because I don't want to have this bull running thing of I just need to be quicker than the guy behind me.
Yeah.
Because we're not outrun the robots. But it's a really cool time. And I think it's a really cool time as well to come into the Irish space, because what you're seeing right now is probably the explosion of bootstrap startups. I think Ireland is one of the top 5 hotbeds for startups in the world, even right now. So in terms of that kind of startup culture, you've got a lot of people who are obviously, what you would have said 10 years ago, the nutty professors in the shed making mad things. But for example, if 5 years ago, 3 years ago, if you told me where to buy a Raspberry Pi kit, I'd be like, let alone what is that? So I suppose what I'd be fascinated to understand, I suppose, from your perspective, is what you're seeing happening in terms of, obviously, you have so much product range here, and it's a case of where do you think you're going next? Where do you think is the kind of key areas in tech that you're going to be focusing on in terms of your product lines and servicing customers over the next 2 to 3 years? That was a very bad tangent, but the point still makes sense.
Yeah, we as I said, we have a lot of demand and inquiries from the robots, and we are going to the trade fair in Far East, in Hong Kong. We have been there, and we got a lot of products back. So in terms of test and measurement, in terms of small equipments, and we try to lower the price points for different product categories.
Okay.
I mean, inflation is a big thing, but we try to help customers maintain their budgets, and this goes through a lot of product categories. In terms of technology, it's IT. we will expand there a lot, and also in electronic components.
Okay.
We although the electronic components market is difficult in the last 12 to 18 months, it's the material the future is built of. So on the long term, electronic components is a big range and growing range for us.
Sure. Carry on. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt there. I suppose. The components is actually a very fascinating space. Is that a supply chain issue, or is it more of an actual materials issue? Because I remember, I suppose, during the peak of COVID, games consoles were at like a record high for sales, but servicing that demand was impossible due to A, supply chain, and B, they couldn't actually produce enough product because they couldn't get the materials for the likes of the microchip sets and stuff like that. So I suppose, that's the route I kind of want to go. Is what are we seeing in terms of those issues around components?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The last 3 years were a roller coaster for the electronic components market, and now all components sellers, wholesalers have large stocks because of the long lead times. Historically, they increased their stock levels, which is now slowing down. And we expect in the second half of next year that the growth is going up. So the lead times have been reduced. We see some supply chain issues, but they are not as complicated as they were due to during the pandemic. In my opinion, in our experience, it's getting better, but not as good as it was before the pandemic.
Sure.
So,
that makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. I suppose it's the world is still trying to find its feet, even though it's like 4 or 5. Is it 5 years since the pandemic already?
Yeah, unbelievable, isn't it?
My God, it feels like literally it was like last year. It's like, no, it's 5 years ago now. It's oh my days.
Yeah,
but it's taken 5 years to even try to get back to that level of normality. But like when you're dealing with, as you say, components and materials and cost of materials and stock of materials, I think there's a lot of people, I suppose, the man on the street isn't going to understand that. They're just going to go, I want my phone, I want my new phone, I want the new iPhone. They're not going to understand where it's like, there's a whole process behind this to get see that part there. Yeah, that takes about 6 months to get hold of.
But overall, electronics are the materials the future is built with. Yeah,
Yes.
And usually the prices go down and the performance goes up.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a disruption in terms of costs and lead times, but I think we slowly get back to normal if nothing happens, on the world. Yeah, you can't tell it. Yeah, hopefully not.
Quick one of those. Touch wood. Give a quick prayer. We don't need another pandemic. I do not do well being locked inside for too many hours. Oh my days. I suppose, Joe, it'd be very interesting. I suppose, as you said, you kind of mentioned earlier on that it's the experts that pick them, and it's a company of 300 people, based obviously out of Germany. What is the kind of roadmap looking like for the next, I guess the next 12 months and the next 5 years for Reichelt Electronics? What's the big game plan?
Yeah, the big game plan, we are preparing for very turbulent 12 months, in the next 12 months. That means because of the overall economy, a lot of our customers are struggling now. Business customers, for example, which are close to the automotive industry, which are strong exporters to the European Union, and the overall economy is weak in Europe.
Yeah.
And the US isn't strong, and China isn't strong, and Germany is a big exporter.
Yeah.
We are not exporting to US and to China directly. However, our customers do. Yeah. So therefore, we will prepare to that period, and we will focus on expanding our range again. Yeah. So we still have a lot of opportunities there. and we want to make Reichelt more aware in our markets, where we have done the launches, the introduction, and of course we have to continue our performance in terms of quality of products, delivery quality, all that.
Yeah.
So we are carefully optimistic. Yeah. So we don't expect a huge turnaround in terms of the overall economy, but at the current time we are doing good business, and due to the fact that our prices are comparatively good, that could also help us to attract new customers who have to look very close to their budgets. Yeah.
The economy is in the bin. It's not been a good time. Out of curiosity, because I have my own opinions, I have my I have some mad opinions on how to I suppose kickstart the tech space from your own perspective. Like, what do you think? Is there a silver bullet to get this moving again? Because I definitely find that it's hit me. Hit me. Go for it.
So, it's my personal guess. You don't know. It's no financial or economical consultancy here, but I think the European Union and US and the Chinese central banks have to lower their rates, their if you want to lend money,
Oh yeah, they're like APR and interest rates and all that.
Interest rates, exactly. So the interest rates, and if the interest rates go down, then money will be cheaper. That means investments will be cheaper. That means startups get easier access to capital. Yeah, and this will help to reignite the spark in several areas of the economy. It will take some time because they can't lower the rates from, I don't know, 4.5 or 4.25 to 1%. It will take some time, but it will make investments more affordable. Also, for private customers who have built a house or need to renovate, or need to buy a car, all the big investments are very expensive.
Yeah.
But if capital or cash is getting cheaper, that hopefully will help the world to get back to growth again.
Yeah.
So that's my guess. Yeah. And of course, innovation. Yeah. I'm sure there are certain areas like robotics, AI companies who will grow out of their small section and build new industry types where others go down. Yeah.
I like this. I've been rattling on about this for a while, and it's going to get me in trouble one of these days, but I'm going to say it again. I am very much of the opinion of like the man on the road, the me, the you, somebody who has an idea. It's like, how do you incentivize these people to take that risk? Because it's not easy.
I agree.
It takes a certain personality. And I'd be of the opinion of, if you could give like a 10% tax kickback, it's like, well, if you put €100 or €1,000 into starting your own project that you hope maybe someday will get a business, that should be tax deductible, or a kickback in tax. That money invested into these areas comes back to you in another way. Because I know from having tried to do stuff that it's like, you just end up spending money and swallowing your whole wallet and go, cool, now I have nothing to show for this. I screwed up.
Yeah, I agree. But if you are an investor, you look for some return on investment. Of course, you need, if you are an entrepreneur, you have also to think about, how can I get back my capital investment? How do I get this return? You could also put your money to some what's the right English name? I can't tell you the right name. Where you get a consistent return.
Like a low yield investment kind of thing.
Exactly. So, and at least you have to get this back. Yeah. So.
No, this makes a lot of sense. Like, I obviously love the tech industry, and I'm always looking at companies like yourselves, where it's like, you have a mad big product range. You pretty much, if any small company is looking to kind of get off the ground, like your catalog would be like, great, what do you need? Do you need computers? Do you need office equipment? Do you need, you've got everything. And it's just a case of getting your message in front of these people going, cool, as much as you might like to buy in a Curry's or a PC World, come to the source because we got it all.
The question is, how can we as a business attract them or be known as a brand with this startup and entrepreneurial people and companies? So that's my job, of course, as a marketeer. We do it through PR, we do it through interviews with people and websites like you.
Come here. I'm shameless about that kind of thing. So like outside of here, my other job is actually trying to run a startup. So I am very much in tune with what you're saying here. It's a headache, but like trying to get this message out there. You've got everything, and in terms of like you obviously take all the major payments, PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, etc. The catalog is very interesting, and I would recommend anybody who's kind of in that maker space and community, I would be very much putting the hands up and going, join that newsletter. There's some really interesting stuff in it. So like,
thank you.
You've got all the components are there, and I guess it's just typical Irishness of slow uptake, but it's like we keep layering on. We'll get there.
So if we can do something, if you miss some products or if you need a quote, let us know. If we can help, if I can help, I'm signing off the quotes too. I'm the person who making the price in the end to large quotes. Let me help here.
Yeah, Joe actually brings a very good question. So let's say, right, you're a small company or you're a medium company. Will I take an example of anybody in particular? No, let's go with generic company X. They have like 100 staff, and we're moving into a new office space where we're selling whatever. Like, how does the sales process work with you guys? Do I basically like old school Amazon style just place an order, or is it like here, generate a quote? What does your sales process look like for someone who's looking to get help?
You can do two things. You can either select through the website what you want and send us this as an inquiry. So we should know what you want in terms of quantities and product type, and then you will receive an offer. So if it is in certain product areas, it's very, very tight. The calculation is very tight. So if you buy 10 hard drives, hard disks, then the price improvement is not that big. But if you combine other products, it can be very beneficial for you. Sure. So in terms of a discount. But we have to look in your shopping cart, depending on the type of product, we have more options to give you a better price. So the easiest way is look through the website, send us an inquiry. We do not make individual quotes for private customers, but if you are a startup or a business, we are more than happy to do the best in terms of our pricing.
Even for the private customer, in fairness, like your prices are very competitive. Very competitive. I was looking up one or two particular products, and like when you compare it to like what you'll get in a high street store, it's very competitive. Like I know a lot of people, like it's a very good time for this, because I think after COVID, even the likes of my mother now shops online, and she would have been, now this is the typical, doesn't have a bank card, but will go to me and go, I'm buying this online, give me your bank and hand me the cash. It's like, oh, okay. But you've got that profile of person now who will purchase online, whereas previously it would have been like, if it's not in the shop, if it's not in the local Harvey Norman's or PC World, then it doesn't exist. So like having a big catalog like this actually opens out the opportunities for people. I mean, the maker space is just brilliant. I've seen some crazy things over the last few years. Like you've got obviously homemade robotics. There was a crowd in France that I saw called Enable, and they use 3D printing to print essentially prosthetic arms for kids that lost them across the world, and that's all open source. So like there's such a big maker community outside of medium to big business. Like, yeah, have a look. Like, there's lots of things. There's so many things on the site. Basically, if you like technology, there's probably something for you.
Yeah, if you have a company or a partner or a colleague or a project in your mind where we can help as Reichelt, yeah, with some specific tools or equipment to support this specific project, then let us know. Yeah, we might find a way to support this project.
Cool. I'm going to be sending this podcast to a few people afterwards, because I think there's a few people in Starter Blend that I know that might, or even there's a couple of. Leave it with me. I've got this. I'll be sending this. I'll be sending this to the world anyway. We're on YouTube right now. We're obviously on Spotify, and then we'll be sending this out to a few different houses. Is there anything that we should be talking about the company that we haven't mentioned yet? Is there any particular topics that you think we should be covering that we haven't got into? Because
I think we should a bit talk about your fantastic smart home results. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you had compared to other countries, you are very on the top. Yeah.
Really,
the Irish people are very advanced in using this smart home equipment, and it's a lot of this Alexa and Google voice AI tool, I would say, yeah. But you are quite ahead of the rest in Europe.
It makes sense. Like, we're lazy. We're inherently lazy. I'm saying it. Don't worry.
The key point was, it came out of the study that it was really for convenience. It was the highest reason why for purchasing smart home equipment, but followed by security and energy saving. Yeah. And it's reflected through all age categories, and the women in Ireland are more to the convenience style, and the males, the men are more using automation and connecting everything together.
Yeah.
So that was a big surprise, that at least 10 points, you are roughly 10 points ahead of other countries.
I wouldn't have put us that far ahead. I would have, to be honest with you, I would have assumed we'd have been near the top. I wouldn't have put us at the top.
Yeah, I haven't. No, you have been on the top. Yeah,
that's crazy.
And we explained it to us because of your tech-savvy population.
That's crazy. That's like, you learn something new every day. I would have put us near the top, but I would have thought that because of there seems to be this, I suppose it's almost like an age bracketed thing over here at the moment. It's like, if you're above a certain age, I'm going nowhere near technology. I want nothing to do with it. Leave it alone. And then it's kind of like 40 over, 40 under seems to be the kind of sweet spot. Like, this whole room here is all connected to the voice lady in the background, and I'm not going to say her name because it's going to set her off. But there's I'd say 10 plugs, the light bulb, I have the Ring doorbell downstairs, and my sister's the same at home. And then they have the office all connected to the smart cameras.
Yeah.
So if there's anything happening outside, even like a cat that climbs on the window ledge, my sister gets. I'm genuinely not even joking. There was a cat on the window ledge about 2 weeks ago, and my sister got a text message. She's actually in Dusseldorf.
Oh wow!
She was at the Dortmund Leipzig game, and she was getting a message on the Ring doorbell going. It was like, "Why is there a cat on the balcony?" I was like, "I don't know. Not my cat at my house. I don't live there." But still, it actually makes sense. Like, just thinking of my own family alone, my brother's house, my gaff, my sister, and the office that my sister works in, there's smart home technology connected to all of them. So I probably shouldn't be that surprised. What other feedback came out of that study, actually?
Well, I can share you some numbers. So
throw them at me. We like numbers. I love numbers.
Voice assistants like Amazon, Alexa, or Google Home are in total used by 63% of the people we asked. That's There have been around 1,000 people.
Mhm.
So, and women use that more than men. So 86% of this voice assistants have been used by females, and 50% male use the technology. So talking and giving orders, that's what women like to do. Then security is also an issue. You know, the smoke alarm, cameras, door lock, the doorbell stuff, and smart TV and smart music. So I use it too, smart TVs and music.
Yeah.
And then lighting and energy heating systems. We see in Germany a lot of increase in energy costs. What I have noticed, that's the same in your country. So overall the costs go up,
Yeah.
and that helps. The tools help to reduce the costs.
That's really cool. That's actually really cool. The voice assistant thing is kind of worrying because if there's that kind of uptake, I am very mean to mine. And when the robots rise up, I'm definitely very high on the hit list because I am not kind to Alexa.
Yeah, I'm driving a car, and it's, to be honest, it's good to have this voice, to talk to the equipment and to do things with it. And it also makes me a bit lazy, not really thinking and just talking and say, hey, Google, tell me the route to this place.
Yeah.
Very convenient, especially while driving, but you switch off your brain a lot. Yeah, so I can't remember any phone numbers anymore. I just pick, connect me please to. Yeah. So and driving is also switching off the brain, getting directed by the navigation system. Yeah, but that's the sad, or that's the side of it, making everything so easy, reduce complexity, and makes technology more used. However, sometimes my brain should have been taken some training. Yeah.
There's column A and column B on that one, to be honest. Like, honestly, I very much get what you're saying there. If you ask me to tell you any phone number other than, like, I can tell you my mother's old landline number that doesn't exist anymore, but I remember that because I used to have to call it when I was sick in school. But probably since then, and since obviously I got the smartphone and stuff, I couldn't tell you any phone number bar my own. But I'd like to think that because I don't need to remember all those stuff, I'm using that hardware space or hard drive space in the brain for something else. But no, I have used it uselessly for song lyrics.
Yeah, so that came out of this survey, and in the next 4 weeks, we will have a big Black Week. We have the Black Friday event in front of us. And of course, we will have some very interesting special prices for the Irish customers too, even with free shipping. So that will help, hopefully, a lot of people to get the best out of their Christmas budget and saving shipping costs to Ireland. So that's the short term, yeah. And for next year, we have a lot of other things in plan, which I can't share you now, but we want to continue.
We will follow up on this later on because I am very interested. You got me at Black Friday, so can you send me on the catalog there after this? And
we will do our very best to make it exciting.
No, when that Black Friday catalog is actually available, will you fire it over to me? Because what we'll do from our side is we'll get an article obviously up on that, because what we try to do most Christmases is do like a gift guide. Well, we do two different things. So on one side, we do like best Black Friday deals. And then on the other side, we tend to do like a Christmas kind of gift guide. Mm-hmm. So yeah, once you have all those kind of offers and deals, we'll pack that into one of the two mad bag guides that we do every year. We enjoy it. We enjoy it. It's really fun for me because it means I get to go poking around and going, ooh, what gadgets are coming that I need to know about.
Yeah. So I will more than happy to send you this.
Perfect.
And it will be also for business customers. So we are not just picking for the consumers, but we also have products which are interested for for startups and small businesses. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can definitely do.
Thank you for the opportunity. Yeah,
No, I love this.
more than happy to share this with you.
I love this. I know this is right up my street because I think definitely we haven't actually ever done a B2B guide. Ooh, that could be fun.
Yeah, we will send you.
This is why talking to people like you is like a great thing and a bad thing for me because I get mad ideas and then it's like, do I have the time to do it? Good. Probably not, but I'm going to figure this one out. Good. B2B gift guide. Fuck. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Yep, there's today's idea. No, this is really fun. This has been really fun. Like you do it all. You've been around the block. You know what you're up to. You have everything. If you're a company, get on it. Like this is just really good. I'm actually looking at some of the magazines that I'm actually scrolling through some of the magazines here. That you have the smart switch bots, the smart revolution for your home, winterproofing, how to prepare your car for the cold season. You've got professional lighting in commercial premises, Raspberry Pi products. So basically, oh wait, there's this one: how your home stays warm in winter. Like you've got everything from smart home to road to professional to maker stuff to heating and home. Like
yes,
like this is perfect. Basically, if you exist and use gadgets, hi. It's very simple.
Yeah, you could spend hours and hours diving into it. I'm spending too much with this recently, but it's fun. It's fun, and you always find something new and interesting.
Yeah. Before we wrap up, let's do the plug. Give me the plug. Where do people find you? How do they reach out to you? The socials, the site.
Yeah,
throw it all at me.
www.reichelt.ie, of course, the website. And from there, you can go to the magazine. You find us also on LinkedIn. If you are a startup or a business, get in touch with us. Send me an email, send our team an email, get an inquiry, give us your inquiry, and we will do the best we can in offering you good prices and good service. So we are more than happy to help you in Ireland make Christmas, Black Week, and next year a successful and happy techie year.
Love it. That is the closing statement.
Thank you.
That is perfect. From our side, obviously, look, we are Goosed.ie everywhere, apart from Twitter, or the artist formerly known as Twitter. We don't like that platform. It's bold. We don't go there anymore. We are on Instagram, Threads, TikTok, LinkedIn. Yeah, pretty much everywhere. We're obviously here on YouTube. We're over on Spotify. But yeah, to anybody who's listening so far today, anybody who does listen to this, make sure you reach out to the guys. I mean, whether you're a private customer or you're a business, they literally do have something in the range for everybody and for every need. So give the guys a follow, go check it out. And like from my side, good day, good night, good morning, goodbye. I don't know, whenever the hell you're listening to this podcast, Christian, it's been an absolute pleasure. And I'm really going to be keeping an eye on what's happening over the next few months. And I do want this Black Friday guide because I want to go see how I'm going to throw my money away this Christmas again.
Well, thank you very, very much. And thank you to the audience and all of my team. Thank you very much.
No, it's been a pleasure. I'm 100% certain we're going to be following up again. So